Life thrives everywhere on Earth, from the biggest of rainforests to the smallest of bacteria, living on a strand of hair. One place where you may see life every day includes your own backyard. Gardens hold a variety of life, as well as having a place in our very own homes. They have a significant importance to everything, like whole communities and even climate change. Creating and maintaining gardens can cause a positive impact to many communities by improving the general environment and establishing ways for individuals to grow their own organic food without the use of chemicals and more. A sustainable system helps make such tasks easier and allows the community to reap benefits that are not present within conventional gardening. But why and how should we be sustainable in our day-to-day gardening? Throughout history, there have been countless examples of the beneficial impact of regenerative agriculture, ranging from Charles Townsend's crop rotation all the way towards the beneficial impacts of cover crops. But to be sustainable, we must first learn about what regenerative agriculture means. Regenerative agriculture refers to farming practices that aim to reverse the negative effects of climate change by restoring soil biodiversity and establishing organic matter within the soil. The most important tenet is to leave everything undisturbed. The goal of regenerative agriculture is to bring the soil back to its most natural state and capture important nutrients and elements like carbon from the atmosphere. This is very different from what is known as sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is the process of maintaining the soil, while regenerative agriculture renews and restores the soil. There are several methods under regenerative agriculture that you can practice within your own backyard and beyond on greater scales. Crop rotation is a practice of planting different crops in the same locale to improve the health of the soil, fight against pests, and increase the density of nutrients in the soil. One example of a crop rotation is corn and beans. First, by planting corn, the crop absorbs a large amount of nitrogen from the soil. To return that nitrogen, a plant like beans can return the nitrogen to the soil. Monoculture can easily deplete the nutrients from the soil, and pests can make these monocultural lands their habitats. The biodiversity of the plot is increased as well, making it more resistant to sudden changes in the environment and improving the yield as well. One method that's easy to carry out in your backyard is interplanting perennial and annual plants and flowers in your garden. These plants provide pollinator insects, feeding places for nectar and also other insects. In turn, they help us by pollinating the plants. Another important method and suggestion for home gardening is to refrain from tilling. Tilling refers to turning over the soil in any manner, as it degrades the structure of the soil and even releases carbon from the soil, along with reducing its ability to retain water. Permaculture is a method that mimics natural systems found all around the world. By utilizing the natural environment, gardeners can establish a diverse, stable, and resistant ecosystem that benefits all involved. Permaculture is more of a philosophy rather than a gardening method. By working with nature, one can understand the interconnected systems present in our natural world. Growing of certain plant species and more can provide refuge for threatened species and benefit all biotic and abiotic factors that take a part in the system. Soil enrichment is a fertilizer catalyst that improves plant nutrition by modifying the soil to enable more nutrients into the field and increase fertilizer efficiency. Excessive usage of pesticides may often destroy healthy soil. Healthy soils can help produce more resilient crops while also increasing yields. The soil's quality may be maintained and improved in a variety of ways. You can practice healthy soil by leaving plant residue left on the land after harvest, as well as the usage of composted organic material or animal manure are examples of soil enrichment. Crops that are grown to cover the soil instead of being grown and harvested for consumption are known as cover crops. On the other hand, cash crops are merely used just for profit, like corn and soybeans. A cash crop takes nutrients out of the soil, but a cover crop can fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and bring them back to the soil, improving soil fertility. They play hand in hand with no tilling. Examples include rye, oats, buckwheat, and alfalfa, to name a few. Polyculture farming entails cultivating a variety of crops in the same location. These species frequently complement one another, allowing for a larger variety of goods to be produced on the same land while utilizing existing resources. High biodiversity strengthens the system's resistance to weather changes, encourages a healthy diet, and uses natural mechanisms to preserve soil fertility. One example is the Three Sisters established by the Native Americans. The three crops used together are corn, beans, and squash, and complement each other within the soil. Biodynamic farming emphasizes the utilization of methods such as composting, applying farm animal manure, cover cropping, and rotating complementing crops to generate the required nutrition and soil quality for production of food. Farms that cultivate a variety of produce, gardens, vineyards, and other types of gardening may all benefit from biodynamic techniques. Compared to regenerative agriculture, conventional agriculture uses synthetic materials and chemicals in order to get higher productivity. As a result, this method usually makes the natural environment poor by deteriorating soil quality and eliminating the important biodiversity in the area. Conventional farms require constant maintenance but produce a large yield. On top of that, monocropping is popular within conventional agriculture, in which one crop is used to make harvesting easy and simple. Pesticides and herbicides are applied as well to help the crop grow as much as possible. Regenerative agriculture practices focus on biodiversity and improving soil health by using soil science and mimicking natural ecosystem. This type of agriculture relies far more on natural cycles of plants, using biodiversity towards their advantages and positively helps the environment around them. However, despite the positive impacts of such practices, it is hard for many to immerse themselves without regenerative gardening. It takes time and patience, and many find it hard to follow through on practices and resort to the use of harmful chemicals and herbicides to improve their plants' lives. However, in any local community, there are always unsung heroes that work hard to promote the importance of natural gardening and help others learn about gardening. One such hero is the nonprofit organization LEAF. Their mission is to take action by educating their community to live sustainably and to grow healthy foods for all to enjoy. Based in Fremont, California, they are a nonprofit organization focused on teaching our community about the benefits of regenerative agriculture and sustainable living. There are opportunities everywhere to learn about gardening and many ways to learn what it means to grow healthy food. For example, LEAF has an online wiki filled with information about their plants, seedlings, and respective ways to take care of their plants. Beyond that, LEAF gardens have a plethora of examples of regenerative agriculture and amazing volunteers that support the growth and maintenance of these gardens. Such organizations lift the barrier of entry into regenerative gardening, so it is important to seek help when you need it. The next time you think of planting your own garden, remember the duty that you carry to your local environment, no matter how small it may be.